Hey guys, welcome to Extreme Outer Limits. We're your hosts, Chris and Bob Beck.
On this week's episode of Extreme Outer Limits, we're back south down in Tamaulipas, Mexico.
We're very fortunate this year to be introduced by Kelly McMillan to Gus and Carla of New Zealand Trophy Hunting. And before you know it, we were booking a trip to New Zealand.
We're starting our adventure up north. We're loaded up and headed. What do you think, buddy?
I'm excited.
Well, we're gonna get the show started right now. Thanks for joining us here on another season of Extreme Outer Limits. This season is going to be a bit different because it is the final season. What are your thoughts, Chris?
I don't know. It's kind of one of those bittersweet things, obviously. Been 13 years.
It's been a while. It's been a haul. It's been a great run, but it's time to move on. We're not getting canceled. We've just decided that it's time to roll it up. We just are ready for the next chapter in life, and it's going to be a great 13 episodes. We're going to start this one with some memorable moments. Then we're going to go on to some of our favorite moments. And then we're going to go on to some of the trials and tribulations and sacrifices. And then we're going to pick everyone back up and we're going to knock it out for the next 12. So we'll see you guys out there.
Extreme Outer Limits is presented by Night Force Optics. Precision optics for precision shooting.
Well, we're midway through this hunt. It's been a really tough hunt, but we have a little bit of an exciting addition. My daughter is here hunting with us today, so she's gotten a little bit of time off work and able to come join us. It's her first time hunting, so.
Yeah, what do you think so far? Nothing but a bouncy truck ride.
A lot of fog, but it's
Oh
good.
yeah, don't forget the fog, my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Chris, memorable moments. I mean, you were there. The mud, the snow, the cold, the hot, the sweat. Memorable, what are you thinking?
Oof. Probably the most memorable part of this entire deal has been hunting with our kids. We only took them mostly on our local hunts, so Oregon hunts. You know, the kids started out doing it and quickly decided that wasn't that fun. They wanted to hunt. But they
had to cut their teeth on blacktail.
Yes.
Right? So blacktail deer.
Hunting is tough.
It's like
The country's tough.
It's a love-hate thing for me, but I've grown up doing it since I was a kid.
Yeah, the best hunting was always the worst weather. And kids these days, they don't really do that great when it's cold and rainy and slippery. And
now, with all that said, we were able to successfully conduct a few of those hunts on film. Yeah. The fact that we got 4 of them, I mean, we're talking Austin, Brianna,
4 out of 5.
Brady.
4 out of 5 kids hunted with us.
4 out of 5 first animals, and on film, though, blacktails.
Yeah, fun, memorable. I'll hold those things, with me forever because that was a really cool time for us to be as busy as we were, but be able to include them.
Take it nice and easy, Austin. Nice and easy. Nice shot. He's shaking like crazy, guys. Pull your thing down. What do you got to say? You just dropped that deer. Can you say something to everybody?
I don't know what to say.
You, show me your hand. Are you a little excited?
Congratulations!
This segment is brought to you by the Night Force NX8 4 to 32 by 50 rifle scope, featuring a high-speed zero-stop turret, a 30mm tube allowing for 90 minutes of adjustment, and ED glass, producing superior image quality at high magnification. The new Zeiss Victory RF laser range-finding binocular provides you accurate ranges and ballistic corrections from 11 to 2,500 yards. A fully customizable ballistics platform, Bluetooth connectivity, and a phenomenal binocular all in a compact and lightweight unit. The new Zeiss Victory RF is EOL's rangefinder of choice.
It's been an adventure and an exciting adventure, to say the least, with Arctic Red River Outfitters in the NWT. Mm-hmm. This hunt was unlike anything we had ever done. This is a camp that you won't necessarily be talking about the animal, but it's the stories that will last a lifetime.
Right, years to come, that's what we're gonna remember the most.
Let's move on from memorable to your most favorite. So I already know it, but I'm gonna hold you to 2 because it is the 2. So what was your most favorite animal?
And I have to say, you're holding me to 2, and there is 2 top ones, but I have way more than just 2 really good hunts that I will always remember. Obviously, Africa was super cool for me, and so was New Zealand.
Yeah.
I loved New Zealand. It's been a while ago, but boy, we had a good time doing that and just being in some really cool country. The 2 favorite, I would have to say, obviously, were my bucket list items or my bucket list hunts. They were ones that I talked about for years about wanting to do, and someday. So first one was hunting with Arctic Red River. We basically went up there on a 21-day hunt, horseback hunt. It was an amazing hunt. But my moose was the grand finale. I had a really great hunt. I mean, we did things on that hunt that were something I didn't think I could do. The grind was real at the end of it, just taking home that moose and now potentially putting him in my new home
Yeah.
to actually be on display. Then I can see him all the time. It just brings back amazing memories. So super cool.
What I remember for you, I was your spotter, right? I helped you get set up, and then I moved off to the side for the spotter. And when you took the shot and hit the moose, it even took my breath away. I remember literally on camera, because when we replayed it back, I heard myself go, because I was like, connect, he's gonna go down. It was right behind the shoulder. I knew right then and there, you got your moose, right? So it even took my breath away because I knew how important it was for you. So.
It was really important, especially when I walked up to him.
All right,
I mean, that's something you never really are prepared for. When you walk up to.
Well, let's go to number 2 because I got to watch what you went through when you walked up.
So number 2 is definitely my mountain goat. I was excited to do that. I mean, I knew what it was going to entail. I knew it was going to be hard, but the feeling that I got when I pulled that trigger and that goat dropped was unbelievable. I don't know if I was feeling like that was like the grand finale because I had only these 2 bucket list items.
You were good at no, you kind of busted up a little bit at the shot.
It was emotional for me, and I've never been that way. There's a lot of things that probably went into it.
You busted up when we got to the goat, for sure, too. Yeah. So
it was cool. I still feel that way. I still feel like it was surreal. Like, I actually really completed this. I mean, it felt good. They're cool. I mean, I'm excited that I got them done, but not only that, to ask me about what is my favorite and make me actually think about it, yeah, I would have to say that's what it is.
Box checked.
Check.
So he's in line 1, 2, 3 on the very left. Of the left, bunch count. I'm gonna redial again. Got him, killed him. That one went right in his heart. He is down. Holy cow! You freaking killed him, buddy. He is dead. Like he's already dead. You just killed a giant bull. One of your biggest ever. Nice bull. Giant bull. That was a shot, dude. That was a shot, and that is a hammer of a bull, guys. It's gonna be a late night and a long tomorrow packing, but we're done and we get to go fishing.
This segment is brought to you by the Extreme Store, now offering optics, bullets, and accessories for all your hunting needs. For more information, visit theextremestore.us. Extreme Outer Limits is also brought to you by Trigger Tech Triggers. With the most advanced technology in the industry, Trigger Tech Triggers offer the most precise, consistent, and dependable triggers for your rifle, on the range or in the mountains. This segment of Extreme Outer Limits is brought to you by the all-new Extreme Heavy Hybrid line of Berger bullets. Rated best in class, ballistic coefficient, delivers the greatest amount of kinetic energy per caliber, will extend the effective range of your rifle. Go to the Extreme Store to get yours today.
You got him. You hit him. Go down. Go down.
Good job. Well, right here, only on Extreme Outer Limits, the Star Valley Outfitters, can we shoot a, what do we think, 32-inch wide typical?
He might be more than that out to here.
My most favorite, I'm gonna go in order, particularly this way, because I'm gonna go with how you did it. Oregon, Governor Deer, 240 buck. You might be thinking size. Of course, that's gotta be on the favorite list. It's a 240-inch mule deer, da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. Yes, it exceeded all expectations. It exceeded anything I could ever hope for. It was beyond anything you'd ever wish. But the reason that was one that I picked for my favorite list is because me and my home state of Oregon, now Oregon is not the place that it used to be, right? It's not the place that we grew up in. But from a hunting aspect, to hit a 240-inch deer mark in your home state has a little feel to it, right? There's also a second aspect to that. Now, because of that Oregon home state, we have some history here, right? So me and playing in the premium tag games where those donations, they go to RMEF, they go to all these places. I've been on enough of those hunts where they didn't go
As planned.
as I'd hoped. Grinding in the home state, grinding in Oregon, it's not necessarily noted as some giant trophy state. It's kind of a sleeper. And all those years of trying to get in the game on an elite level animal in your home state, and it all was the culmination that day on that 240-inch mule deer buck. So that one makes the list, and that deer lives in our home in a full body mount, 240-inch deer. That's definitely on the favorite list. Now, moving forward, one that I did not know, and I think the reasons are different. My bighorn sheep. It had a different feel to it because the ram is nice, but the ram is not an elite level trophy ram. But what goes into that hunt and the hunts prior to it to make your North American Grand Slam, Sheep Grand Slam, that's what unwound on me emotionally. Like that night and maybe the next several nights, I had just this, I don't think overwhelming is the right word, but this unwinding feel of how much tension, I guess, had built up, right? Like, I didn't have the sheep bug. I didn't really even understand it. I didn't really know what made a guy a horn hunting guy or an antler guy. I just know I liked antlers, so I was really stuck in mule deer elk mode. But we come across the Arctic Red River hunt. We got up there. I had a successful Dall sheep hunt, and that kind of got a little trigger going. So then it's like, okay, well, let's move to the desert, right? So then you line that up, and then the stone goes down and we're 3/4 slam, right? And it's like, oh my gosh, the tension, and here we are, Rocky or bust, Grand Slam or bust. So got an opportunity on the Rocky. We hunted in Alberta. It's not the easiest to do in Alberta because it's the most opportunity guys get to go and actually hunt a Rocky. In the States, the Rockies are hugely impressive trophies, but you may go a whole lifetime and never touch a tag. Well, I will tell you, even as many hunts as I've been on and as typically as calm as I can be, that one was under my skin to the point that I was thinking halfway through, this is a bust. It is not going to happen. Should we go home? Do I go back to work? Anyway, get coaxed into staying. You're not leaving. We got to do this. And when that ram went off that cliff, yes, it was concerning about him breaking up, but it was the biggest relief ever because I knew when he went off the cliff, he was going home with me. One way or the other, that ram was going home. And that was slam complete, right? So a little bit different reasons. And I definitely have a huge respect for the sheep game because, yeah, they're not everywhere. They're not like deer where you can go hunt them everywhere. They're sheep. They're only certain places. You only get certain opportunities. But to complete that slam and pull that pressure off of me and do it on TV, like you said, put it on this season right here, that makes it one of my all-time favorites.
This segment is brought to you by The Extreme Store, now offering an exclusive McMillan Game Hunter Universal Inlet Stock, capable of accepting all Remington clone actions in a wide variety of barrel contours. For more information, visit www.extremestore.us. Extreme Outer Limits is also brought to you by The Extreme Shooting School, an information-packed 2-day class. For more information, go to extremeouterlimitstv.com. This segment is brought to you by MOA Rifles, now offering their Extreme Series actions. Built with long-range performance in mind, MOA actions are constructed to handle the most advanced bullet and cartridge combinations on the market. For information, visit MOARifles.com.
Wrapping up this episode, we felt like there was maybe one more kind of highlight, or several highlights, just kind of life and career highlights we could talk about. We've shared some of our favorites. We've shared our most memorable. Chris, we've done a lot of things in 13 going into 14 years that we've been doing this. You know, when we started this TV deal, I think I got some of the best advice that I could have ever got. And, you know, I shared it with Chris and we discussed it. It was, if you didn't have $1 million idea or a product, the shelf life of a TV show was going to be pretty short. If you do not have a plan, I would say 2-3 years, right? Guys, it's not all like you think, right? So these shows cost a lot of money to put on, and you know, we're trying to do the best we can. So for us, I didn't have the $1 million idea, but I knew what it took to make gear around the hunting style and the shooting that we were going to do. Where did we start, Chris? We started off with what, the Extreme store?
Yeah, the Extreme store was definitely, yeah.
The online store.
Right.
We needed to build something secondary to this so that if it didn't go as planned,
It didn't go well.
Right,
We
like,
still had potential income.
there was a very little plan B, guys.
Yeah.
So we built the Extreme store, and that's when we were able to start working with our partners to start retailing their products. So once we got the store done, then we started working with OEM Rifles, and that's where Kelly McMillan and I were able to put together rifles through McMillan that were purpose-built for long-range hunting. Well, that lasted for a few years, and then the firearms division of McMillan had sold, and then we had a tough decision to make. Do we try to go with somebody else or do it on our own?
And you all know what we did.
MOA Rifles was born. All right, so we started with the store. We went to MOA Rifles. We had some conceptual designs of how to function ammunition that was utilizing longer, heavier, higher ballistic coefficient bullet offerings, things like this. So we birthed an MOA action and started building rifles. From there, what did we do next, Chris? I think, was it Rugged Ridge?
Yeah, Rugged Ridge Outdoor Gear.
Me and the only thing I've ever had as a brother, Nathan Jones, had kind of brainstormed some ideas to put together some bipods with, you know, massive amounts of motion and twists and turns.
It makes me think about the original, prototype. I think it was about this big. And it was like, oh man, who's going to pack that thing around? So I do remember that very well, though.
Oh, it was gross. It was ugly, but we learned, right? We learned.
Yeah.
So Rugged Ridge came, right? So we started with the bipod. Now we've got the rear support system, and we've got some other, you know, accessories, and that helped complement even more, right? So now we had the rifle, we had the accessories.
And the accessories went on the store, and yeah.
All right, so then from there, so we were kind of figuring out, well, you know, it's a competitive market, and so there's a lot of guys doing a lot of good things out there, and you're only ever going to get so much market share. So my thought was, well, let's just keep taking wedges of the pie. All of a sudden, it was Star Valley was available. Loved it. One of the greatest places we'd ever been to. I love to grind those kind of hunts and horseback and the beauty and everything. And then Broken Top came up next. So Broken Top has a concept of its own. It's very, very contrary. Now, some of the hunts that we offer are similar to Star Valley, like our Idaho division of Broken Top. It's very much horseback country type hunting. But our Idaho camps have guaranteed tags. Our ranch hunts have guaranteed tags, whereas Star Valley is all draw-based. Right. So we needed a Broken Top, much like, you know, we needed a Star Valley, so we could play the point draw game on this side, and we had the guaranteed tag side on the other side. All right, so moving on. Our biggest, this one came, it was a lot of years in the making.
A lot of years, yeah. We talked about this for a long time.
So one of my dearest friends, the late Kelly McMillan, he's passed on now. It was one of those things where it was an extremely difficult purchase for us to afford. And it was a mental struggle for him knowing when was the right time to sell. And finally, in 2020, it all came together. and we were able to acquire McMillan Fiberglass stocks, which we've now just changed it to McMillan stocks because we work with carbon, and that's where we sit now. Now the cliffhanger to this episode is going to be another expansion, but I'm not going to tell you yet. So let's just say it's in the McMillan League of expansion, and we'll just leave it there. And maybe by the time this season wraps up, we're going to let you know on episode 13. So we're excited about the future. We're excited to have a little time back. We're excited to let some of our newer, younger staff and partners that are working with Extreme Outer Limits, MOA Rugged Ridge as we go forward. We're excited to see them spread their wings and see what they can do.
Opportunities.
We might be able to go on a fishing boat or vacation.
Or play with grandbabies.
Grandbabies, 3 of them now. So anyway, guys, this is episode 1 of 13, final season, Extreme Outer Limits TV. Here we go.
Extreme Outer Limits, brought to you by McMillan Stocks, Rugged Ridge Outdoor Gear, Night Force Optics, Grip and Pull, the best bullet puller in the world, MOA Rifles, Star Valley Outfitters, and Broken Top Outfitters. And also brought to you by